What's going on, guys? It's Green Thumb. So we just got to our garden plot for this year. So we have this one here, and it's about 40 by 18. Just got freshly tilled. And then we've got the same here. So we've got water on site right there. Over here we've got a big compost pile to get rid of everything we dig out, and we're going to start the process by pulling all these weeds out of here, and then we're going to start shaping beds. They're going to be 30 inches by with 12-inch wide pathways. And over there I have a truck with 3 yards of organic mushroom compost that we're going to lay down on the beds. So that's where we're starting. So I'll take some footage as things progress. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. The man who's running this farm graciously came by with his tractor and his tiller. You guys saw what the ground looked like earlier. We started pulling out clumps of weeds. It took 2 hours to get that bed done, and then he came by with a tiller on the back of his tractor and he tilled them up. So ground is super nice now, and I've started shaping beds. You can see we've got 30-inch beds, 12-inch pathways, bed, pathway, bed, pathway, bed, pathway, and we've started laying the organic mushroom compost on, just trying to gauge. So that's about 10 feet in length that you're looking at, and that's one wheelbarrow, not a heaping wheelbarrow. And I have this pile here, 3 yards. So we're gonna have lots. Not sure how it's gonna work out, but got this bed here, same thing, bed, path, bed, path, bed, path, and that's the last bed, and that's 43 inches wide. So there's no point in me putting another pathway down the side or anything down here. So this will just be one great big wide bed. I'm not sure what I'm going to grow in that. I might run maybe squash down it because it's wide enough to put squash in. So now that we have the bed shaped, we are going to start installing more of this mushroom compost. Look, guys, look at the telephone lines. Look at this.
It's in 2.
We just got hit by a tornado in the field. We're heading home. Look, the trees are down. It picked me up and it threw me 10 feet through the air, across the parking lot. It picked up my youngest, deposited him into the ditch. Luckily it was all grass. Look at this. Trees are down everywhere. So looks like gardening's over for the day. We're okay. My back's tore up a little bit. Logan's bleeding from his knee, but I'll do a follow-up when I get home. Oh, look at that. Right on the car, guys. Oh man. Telephone pole right on the car. Look at that, guys. Telephone pole. Look at that. Right through the front of the car. There's the rest of it. Why are these guys on the wrong side of the road? These guys are on the wrong side of the road. They're passing me in the ditch side. Look at that. Look at this, guys. So I was going to do lots of gardening videos today, but it turns out I'm going to do some recording of this disaster. Look at that. Clean across the lines. I was just speaking with the boss. He just called me, and he was telling me that even some of the major hydro towers, the great big steel ones, that they've collapsed. They're saying some people might be out of power for a week or more, and it's going to take weeks to clean this up. There it is. Right out across the road. These guys are driving underneath it. Look at that. Clean out across the lanes of traffic. Look at that. Just snapped off sideways. Look at that. Big old pine tree. Look at that. It's bent right over the line. That's Finnegan right there. I think that's Finnegan. Look at that tree up there. Oh, that's gonna be a big one. I'm glad I'm not doing trees anymore, guys. Because these kind of cleanups are real fucking sketchy and really dangerous. Because everything is loaded and sprung with weight, and you gotta piece all these things apart. So it's like a great big twisted puzzle. On top of that, it's leaning on power lines and comm lines. Some of these are comm lines, the low ones are comm lines because there's no insulators. There goes the top of that tree. Look at that guy's yard. I used to have trees, not anymore. Oh, that's a big one. More down poles. Trees are just snapped like toothpicks. Look at that. Isn't that kind of creepy? It's like a big witch up in the tree. Or up in the pole. Well, that was a building. Folded over like a can of tuna. What's going on, guys? So we're still in the car. We've been driving for over an hour trying to get home. Some of the roadways we need to take to get home, they've totally closed off. We're okay at this point. Just letting you know, we're not home yet though. So I was kind of hoping my neighborhood didn't get smashed up, but look.
I almost turned into a religious man praying for my dad's safety.
Look at this one. Down. That's a big tree, guys. That's like 24 inches. Look, guys. Look at that. It's right up on the house. Okay, so I'm home. that was real. That was real. So we were out in the field, and I knew we had a bit of rain today, but they weren't calling for anything serious. You can see the sun. Look at that sunburn from my muscle shirt there. So the Weather Network wasn't calling for anything serious today, so I wasn't worried. We had 3 yards of mushroom compost. You guys saw me, we were starting to put that in the garden. My emergency alert went off, said that we have a major storm coming through. No big deal, most of the time I ignore those anyways. I figured, okay, if it shows up, we'll pack up the truck, we'll get the hell out of here. And so the storm started to circle around us, and to the south of us, it was nice and sunny, and the wind was blowing northbound. So I thought, no big deal, right? I mean, I'm looking at gorgeous skies, and the north of the city is getting smashed, but doesn't concern me. Then a couple of minutes later, I look up, and we were surrounded by huge, nasty darkness. I mean, even with my sunglasses on, like, it was dark. So I told the kids to start packing up everything, putting it in a box. We had a cardboard box that we'd brought little hand tools and my cell phone charger and water bottles and whatever. So as soon as I pretty much said that, a couple of raindrops hit us, and we were parked about 150 feet from the truck. We were out in the middle of the field. I told my youngest to start going to the truck, and I started going to the truck, and within us moving 20 or 30 feet, the wind picked up, the rain picked up, and the wind just picked up speed and picked up speed and picked up speed. So I turned around and I hollered at my oldest. I said, grab the lunch pail. The lunch pail's what the truck keys were in, right? So you keep track of them on the job site. So I'm trying to run to the truck holding a big cardboard box with all of our stuff in it. My youngest had run ahead of me. By this point, I couldn't see anything. I was running through the grass trying to get to the truck. I couldn't even see the truck through my glasses. All I know is my youngest was ahead of me somewhere. I get to the gravel parking lot, and I literally was lifted clean off my feet through the air. I flew at least 10 feet through the air, Superman style, hit the ground, and the wind was so strong that when I hit the ground, it slid me across the gravel parking lot. I don't know if you guys can see that, it's hard to tell. Got road rash on my shoulder from where I slid. My youngest's knee it's all scraped up. It's got some road rash on there. It's starting to swell up, so I'm going to throw him in the shower. But so after I picked myself up off the ground, my youngest was in the gravel, in the grassy sort of ditchy area where the parking lot ends and the ditch starts. We get him to the truck, and I look behind me, and my oldest is behind me, and I said, where's the lunch pail? And he's like, I didn't hear you. So I told the kids to jump underneath the truck. They climbed under the truck, and I had to go back through that mess, out into the middle of the field, to get the lunch pail, to get the keys, to get into the truck. Luckily, the truck is high enough off the ground that the kids were able to hide underneath it. The truck probably weighs about 3 tons at least, so it really wasn't moving. But I get back to the truck. I'm soaking wet. I'm sore. My groin hurts. I've pulled a muscle in my groin. My oldest is okay. He's shook up the most. Because I didn't think the weather was going to be that bad. So when I took my youngest to go to the truck, I didn't think too much of it, right? Until I really started moving, and by that point, I was moving forward trying to get to the truck, and my oldest was running up behind me, but the lunch pail sitting out in the middle of the damn field. The wind was so strong, flipped the porta potty right over onto its side. The telephone poles right at the field where I was working, they are snapped off like toothpicks. The cops are saying to everybody right now not to leave your house, it's too dangerous. There's power lines down everywhere. They're talking people are going to have weeks of power restoration that needs to happen. There's 150, 200,000 people at least without power. I'm assuming that number is going to go up as they continue to update the systems. It took me a good hour and a half to get home in the car. Normally that would have been a 15-minute drive on a nice day, 25-minute drive in a crappy weather day. One of the main roads I need to go home, they completely blocked it off with the public transportation buses. They blocked the roads right off, so no one's getting through. There's traffic lights out all over the city. So it makes it real, you know? Like, storms don't bother me, but when the wind is strong enough, they're saying that the wind was 120 kilometers an hour. So that's about 70 miles an hour. 60 kilometers an hour is 100 kilometers an hour is 60 miles an hour. So 120 kilometers an hour is give or take 70 miles an hour. So that's what hit me broadside and took me clean up off my feet. It was, I don't want to do that again. That wasn't fun. And when you got little ones, right? My youngest probably only weighs 45 pounds. Luckily we were able to get to the truck. So, yeah. So I'm home. We're going to patch everybody up, see what happens from there. The arborists are going to be real busy. A lot of these lines. So for those of you guys don't know, a regular arborist is not allowed to work on these trees that are on these power lines due to the safety factor. And there's only so many guys that are licensed to work on trees around power lines in the city. And they are going to be busy for days. So for you guys out there trying to clean up the city, be safe, okay? And also, before I went out today, we put all the plants out in the backyard here so they could get some sun. And the ladies are bent over like this in their pots. So I'm going to put them back under the LEDs. Hopefully I can get them straightened out. If not, I'm going to go cut a bunch of little sticks and branches. I'm not going to have any problems finding some branches. And I'll have to stake them straight again, or they're just going to take that bend and then we're going to have all kinds of weirdness happening. So, yeah. So I'm okay, and the kids are okay. Yeah, it was a day. So, going back to the field tomorrow. Got work to do. I still have, I asked for 3 yards of mushroom compost, and the equipment operator, I think he gave me close to 5 because there is a huge pile left. We didn't even use half of it, and I've put compost on 6 beds, I think 6.5 beds. So I got a lot of work ahead of me tomorrow, and it's going to be soaking wet, but it's got to be done. Mike, if you're watching this, I hope you're okay. I don't know where you were hiding when that went down, but I hope you're okay. And I really appreciate all the help that you offered me today. I understand you had a lot to do, and taking the time out of your day to offer me the options and the offers that you gave me won't be forgotten. So if you need help and I'm at the garden, you come find me and I will help you out. And for everybody else watching, stay safe out there, and you need to take these storms seriously, okay? I'm going to have a beer. Have a good one, guys. Green thumb out.